teased the news story, so I wasn't like teasing you. So don't, if you're a literalist, it'll probably drive you crazy. But mega companies, they're distancing themselves for charities found donating to anti-Trump groups. So many of them. And like name charities that just revealed to have donated millions to liberal anti-Trump groups. The 2018, well, this is a 2015, so with 2018 would be in the future here. There's tax documents for the Center of Community Change, which does not disclose donors, were obtained and publicized this week by the Washington Free Beacon. And those documents reveal past contributions from charities like W.K. Kellogg Foundation and Ford Foundation. Now, in response to the reported donations, representatives of those companies that you just heard from, Kellogg's and Ford, with historical ties to them, like the Kellogg's Company and Ford Motor Company, are emphasizing that they have nothing to do with the contributions and are separate entities. Ford Foundation stated that by the founders of the motor company in 1938 donated $2.35 million to the Center for Community Change, according to the Free Beacon. But a spokesman for the automaker noted that the Ford Motor Company had no affiliation with the Ford Foundation for nearly 4 decades. Among those on the board of trustees for the Ford Foundation is Cecil Richards, president of the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. The largest contributions came in from W.K. Kellogg Foundation, which donated $3 million to the liberal group, according to the Free Beacon. So as much as they say that they've distanced themselves, there's the money trail. They do their taxes like everybody else does their taxes and found out, well, yeah, you're trying to deflect and say, oh, it's not affiliated with us, but shh, don't tell anybody. We actually still made a donation. Our name is on there. And of course, if it would really bother them and it really upset them of these companies, don't you think that they would ask them to remove the name, change the name, make it public, try to fight against it? Of course, they're in cahoots. They love it. And the Kellogg Company, they acknowledged to Fox News that the foundation and the company were both established by W.K. Kellogg, but they're standing by it even after the donations, that they are two legally separate entities, legally speaking. So as a result, we do not have information or influence on the foundation's activities, even though they're not saying this like this, but even though they give donations, as a result, we do not have any information or influence on the foundation's activities, programs, or initiatives. The food manufacturing company said in a statement. So in the post on its website, W.K. Kellogg Foundation stated that the company and foundation operates independently of one another, of each is governed by its own board of directors. So the money has nothing to do with any kind of influence. Money doesn't influence anybody, doesn't persuade anybody to do anything. I mean, come on, folks. If you weren't going to get paid and your boss called you and said, listen, I need to come in this week, but we're not going to pay you, how motivated would you be to come into work? Come on. What does the old saying say? Money talks, and yeah, you can fill in the gap there. There's kids in the car. Okay. Some of your kids might know it, but yeah, you're not supposed to say it. All right. Yeah, we're trying to keep it family friendly, folks. Come on, there's young kids in the car. We don't want to say it. We could, but we just don't want to. We're trying to stay classy here. We're on some Christian stations too, so we don't want to. Yeah, and we are a Christian, broadcast here, so we're not like ultra religious where we play, Christian music every day. But I like a song or two. I'm not hiding from it. I got to let my light shine, and I could do it. But there's plenty of organizations. And so Ford Motor Company and Kellogg's certainly given the money that has found to be talking junk, supporting anti-Trump groups, and throwing their money out there, trying to be disruptors or agitators or whatever, or spreading fake news and whatever they want to do. But they're saying, they're doing a lot of good, but it's propaganda, it's politics. And there's people that are seeing this, and they're saying, you know what, I'm not going to support the Kellogg's Corporation. I may not buy the Ford car. I may not do it. And I think it's good that we find the companies that, are supporting our values, our virtues, and, and make your decision intelligently when you go to the grocery store. But, if you're going to stand behind them and you're not going to stand with your president and you're going to spread mistruths, I'm not going to buy your products. I don't want to buy a Ford, and I'm not certainly going to buy any Kellogg's products. I really don't have anything in my house that is Kellogg's. But there you go. There's plenty of other Americans will be that way. There's plenty of other products. But thank you. And it's really interesting how they do this. I mean, they must be taking some of their political maneuvering advice from Hillary Clinton when they say that, they're separate entities. We don't have any influence over them, yet we made millions of dollars worth of donations to Planned Parenthood. That's a red flag to me. I'm sorry. But no, I'm not sorry. I'm against abortions. I don't like Planned Parenthood, and I just don't support the killing of babies. That's not my idea of a good time. And it's death by numbers. There's millions and millions of babies that are aborted. And I've said it this way: what makes you believe, or not believe, that one of those babies that was killed didn't have the cure for cancer, or had some type of flux capacitor moment, like in Back to the Future, where they could create time travel? If not that, bring us to Mars in like 10 minutes. I mean, you just don't know who's going to be the next Einstein. Or there's somebody that's going to, you're putting all this money in for the cure of cancer. You killed 10 of them that actually had the ingredients in their brains. God gave them, but you killed them. I am so certain that there's so many that lives were taken because of inconvenience. Okay, I'm not saying all of them were that way, but many are. Let's face it. Come on, folks. It's inconvenient to have the child. It's convenient to just have it done, wipe it out, DNC, done, all done. And then they get pregnant again and again. It's people that have multiple abortions. Okay, they don't just have one, but they have dozens of them. I mean, it's sickening to me. I'm sorry, but it's just gross. I mean, I have heard the discussion with us like, some people just should not have babies. You look at that person. They procreate. They shouldn't be procreate. And that's playing God. People, despite their parents, despite their upbringing, so many people have been able to lead exceptional lives, productive lives, despite their parents. Hey, look at you. You came out all right. Come on. May have had it a little rough, but it's okay. Parents are not perfect, that's for sure. Some of them are not as perfect. Some of them are devils incarnate. We can't help who we were born to. However, we were born, and I really like what Paul Newman said to Kathy Gifford years ago when she suffered a really bad, this is before they had severed, for Donald Trump and all that stuff, but she was going through depression. Depression's terrible. It's debilitating. But took her aside, grabbed her wrist, and said, Kathy, as long as you have a pulse, you have a purpose. And, folks, we all have a purpose. We do. So don't give up. I think the best days of America are still ahead. We all need to be on board on that thought and that thinking, and we need to think positive. Bad things do happen in our world. We've had a really, really, really rough week here. We need to put some good music on, and we're going to hear more about the bump stock ban, the oppositions to guns and groups and the NRA and senators against it. Some are for it. Some are just announcing that they just want to be on standby to listen to it, but it's going to be a debate. Gun Owners of America opposes a ban on bump stocks. Executive Director Eric Pratt said in a statement, noting that the Obama administration, ATF, allowed the devices to help gun owners with disabilities fire their weapons. Do you hear that? Allowed devices to help gun owners and the disabled fire their weapons. So these devices, before people go AWOL, to convert this for the semi-automatic to automatic was passed during the Obama administration. So Hillary Clinton, she's going out, talking about, let's do away with them. Let's censure it. Let's take all the guns and all this other stuff. Where were you when? Where were you? Where was your discontentment? Where was your political stance then when your boss Obama approved it? And then they're so against the NRA? Come on. It's self-serving. It really is. And I think like so many people, they're just trying to get to the bottom of it to try to appease people, make people feel better about it because it was so alarming, so striking that if we go ahead and do that, then this is never going to happen again. And on that premise, it's just foolishness. You can't stop crazy people from doing crazy things. People can do crazy things at any time, at any moment. And this guy, unfortunately, been planning it for a long time, but people can just make up their minds they're going to go do it because they're tired of their life, they're miserable, and they're going to take everybody else with them when they go. I mean, this guy sounds like a crackpot, a degenerate for real. Am I for guns? Are you kidding me? I am completely for gun ownership. Responsible usage. It protects people. It protects more people than it kills, that's for sure. Guns kill people. What is it? People kill people. Guns don't kill people. I mean, that's a simple explanation for it, but it's true. Remember, for the right money, for a determined person that wants to get a hold of something, they're going to get a hold of it. And remember, this guy was a multimillionaire, so the amount of guns that he secured, this was like a hobby to him. It's the only way that you can explain it, why he had that much firearms. There are gun owners that I have ran into in my time that live up in the mountains. They love guns. They're collectors. They enjoy it. There's a lot of people that like their Second Amendment rights. And they have tons of ammo, but they like going to target practice. They love hunting. And some of them just like to be prepared in case something should happen, that all should hit the fan, if you will. That they're just ready for just about anything, but that's our Second Amendment right. That there's more people responsible than irresponsible when it comes to guns. And so if you take the rights away, then you're taking it away from law-abiding citizens that are doing nothing wrong other than trying to protect themselves, their families, their communities, their country. And that's just a right that we have as every American. So just remember that when there's discussion going on talking about gun control. It has nothing to do with the gun control rules and regulations. As a matter of fact, there's plenty of rules and regulations on there. It didn't stop from the mass killings in Chicago that continue with thousands, and by the way, raked up way many more than ever happened anywhere else in the country. Racked up with numbers. Look at the statistics. Thousands dead with gun ownership. And you don't think they have automatics? They have automatics, semi-automatic, every kind of gun these gangs get. You think they legally purchase the guns? Legally purchase the guns? You think all these gangs legally purchase the guns? Give me a break. Get real. They're gangs. That's why we're here, folks.